Hello and welcome to our tarot reading for the week of November 5th through 12th, 2023. This is a tarot reading for the sign of Leo. And this is the first time I'm doing these readings by sign. So if you do enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. I will be doing these videos weekly because it does take quite a lot of time to do them for each sign. And this is going to be what they call, what I call an astrological spread or a horoscope spread. And this is going to show what's going on this week for you via astrological house. And I start by using the cartouche cards, which are an Egyptian system that I've used for a long time. And I will use them with the tarot. In this case, I'm going to be using the Aquarian tarot this week. So what does Leo need to know for this week? If you happen to be watching this video on a week other than the one that I've mentioned, that's okay. It may well be that there's a message for you somewhere in this reading. So let's see what we've got for you. Wow, so far this looks like it's a really great week for you. So let's see what we've got. Let's shuffle our tarot cards a couple of times. And cut them, and then let's see what we've got. Okay, so Leo, for this week, can you provide some elucidation of this reading? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. Lots of fire in this reading, which should not be surprising because you are in fact Leo. Wow. Okay. Lots of changes coming up here. And let's see. But we've got you again, the center of the deck. I had this with Gemini as well. The sun is Leo energy, so your energy is showing up right in the center of the deck, which is great. Okay, so let's start with the first house. This is Aries energy. This is how you see yourself and how you present yourself to the world. This is your persona, how other people see you. And it's interesting because you have the Two of Pentacles here. So you may be keeping a lot of plates spinning right now. You may be doing a bit of jack of all trades mode. There's definitely the sense here of trying to do multiple things at once. And you have it with Pyramid. So Pyramid shows up in the first house when you are having a test of your faith in yourself. So there may be, you may be, your identity, maybe your personal branding, or just who you are. It seems to me like you are making some decisions here. Like there's some changes that you are going through and you're not really quite sure yet what the best path is for you. But Pyramid does suggest good news eventually on that front. In the second house, we have, this is your financial house. This is Taurus energy. So this has to do with your money. And yeah, wow, you've got the King of Rods or the King of Wands. And this is somebody who goes for what they want. Again, very strong Leo, strong fire energy with this card. And you have it with the Scarab. So for somebody here, this indicates a new financial beginning of some kind. Whether it means like paying off a debt, whether it means a new job or a new income stream or something like that. There's definitely the strong sense that you are making a new beginning and you are going for it. Like you are going for it big time. If you are thinking about making changes, this would be advising you to go for it. Our third house here has to do with Gemini and Gemini energy. Gemini has to do with communication, with technology, with short journeys, sometimes with your siblings. And also self-effort with businesses and so forth. Now we've got, again, the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Rods. The Queen and the King are together here. So this could, to me, indicate a business partnership of some kind that's significant. I mean, we do have it with Thoth. So Thoth is a card of, it's a card of healing, but I think it's mainly a card of timing. I mean, I'm using the phrase divine timing, which I know people hate, but divine timing is kind of what's implied here. It's like almost like something's happening at the right time. Okay, so this would be a communication, potentially a communication from a woman, although the gender doesn't have to necessarily apply here. But it does seem like this is the match to the King of Wands or the King of Rods. This is somebody who is very kind of assertive, out there, active. Some people see the Queen of Wands as almost being aggressive, but this is definitely an energy of having it together, or being magnetic, or being somebody who is looked at and admired by people. So this is in the house of communication. So there could be communications with a person like this, or this could be you. You could be drawing people to the kind of work that you're doing. And maybe in some cases this is a sibling of somebody, because again, this is the house of siblings. But I feel like there's some kind of communication or something dealing with somebody's business that's coming in, that again, it's just something coming at the right time, either an opportunity from another person or you jumping on an opportunity that's coming in. Fourth house is Cancer energy, and this has to do with the home, your environment, your sense of security, sometimes the mother. And we have Sphinx here. So Sphinx is a wait and see thing. I don't know if you're thinking about making changes to your house, or making changes to something that's jumping in my mind too. Maybe is some people with the financing of their house. There's something here about waiting and seeing on something. And you've got Justice here. So for some of you, this could be a legal matter. There could be a legal matter connected to your home. It could be a sale of a home. It could be an estate thing. It could be a divorce. It could be some other thing. I don't know. It all depends. Obviously, you take it as it resonates. But there seems to be some kind of matter for somebody that they need to wait and see how it's going to come out before taking any action on something. If this doesn't apply to you, if there's not a legal situation, justice has to do with truth, in particular, truth and balance. So if you're being told to wait and see, there could be some kind of matter connected either to your home or maybe your own personal sense of security, like maybe you're feeling insecure about something. And I think it's just saying, wait until you get the truth about something. Wait, because the truth will reveal itself. Fifth house is Leo energy. And this has to do with creativity, with love affairs, with children. Again, depending if you don't have children, obviously that doesn't apply to you, although it could apply to other children in your life, nieces, nephews, something like that. It can also, again, it could have to do with love affairs if you are looking to be in a love affair. And again, if you're not, then that obviously doesn't apply. If not, then I would say it has to do with some kind of creative project or something that you want to do. And you've got the Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords shows up when something is coming to a definitive end. There's something that you're doing. Either you need to complete it or it's going to be done. And you have it with Ta. So Ta is a very masculine card. So this is Capricorn energy. For somebody, this could literally mean the end of a relationship with a Capricorn, like something that you're, pushing out of your life. But this could also just be the end this is also just strong male energy. So it could be the end of a relationship with a man. But if we don't take that point of view, because again, that's not always the way that it's taken, it could just be the end of obstacles or something that keep you from building something up. Because Ta has to do with building something, with making something. And it's usually creativity in terms of something you do with your hands, but it doesn't have to be. Ta can show up when we are trying to build something. And I would say in that case, this would mean that some kind of thing has to come to an end in order for this building to take place. So take that as it resonates. There just may be something that you need to move past. Sixth house is Virgo energy. This has to do with your health, and it also may have to do with your work. It can also have to do with domestic animals if you have any, and this is also the house of worry and anxiety for some people. So yeah, we've got Anubis here. Again, we've got this protective energy here, and we've got this with the Queen of Pentacles, which is kind of a safe and comfortable energy. So I don't know. I feel like this could be, this sometimes also has to do with like diet, exercise, nutrition. So I feel like this could be somebody who is trying to protect their health, trying to do something. You may be trying to make a change to your daily regimen or something like that. That is possible here. There's also the sense, if it has to do with somebody's work, I don't know. Queen of Pentacles could be somebody who is significant to you. This usually is a very good financial omen. So sometimes some people, it could be a woman who's bringing a job or a job offer. But I feel like, yeah, with Anubis overall, I feel like the two of these together, there's a general concern about protecting yourself and about security. That may be where the worry factor comes in, or the health factor. But Anubis is usually good. It usually indicates being, as we say, quote unquote, home and dry. It indicates that you have guidance through something. And again, this does not apply to everybody, but sometimes Anubis will show up if somebody has a hospital procedure or something coming up. And if that does happen to be the case for somebody, and again, if you don't have something like that scheduled, it's not predicting one. But if you are, then this would indicate things going well. So take that again as it resonates. Seventh house is Libra. And yeah, wow. Libra, this house is the house of partnerships of all kinds. It can be a marriage. It can be just another very serious legalized partnership. It can be a business relationship. And we have the Buckle of Isis. So the Buckle of Isis is a card, in terms of relationships, this is usually a card of fidelity, okay, of being faithful to someone. But we have it with the Devil, so I don't know. I feel like somebody's being tempted into, this is like a lust card, so I feel like somebody could be tempted into an affair or something like that. That might apply to somebody. But, if that is not the case, if that doesn't apply to your situation, or if you're single, it could be that you may be looking for a serious relationship, and you may have people around you who are just out, for something, let's just say something decidedly more short-term, and perhaps more lust-based than love-based. So, but it can also indicate, the Devil sometimes indicates attachments to people and situations that are not good. We may be giving a loyalty to somebody who doesn't deserve it. So, again, and if you feel like none of this applies to you, you have a great marriage, everything's wonderful and so forth, then somebody in the relationship has some kind of an attachment that they've got to look at. It could be an attachment to, it could be an addiction, it could be an attachment to, it could just be an attachment to a situation or a job or something. It doesn't have to be something decidedly negative. But there may be somebody you have a partnership or relationship with who needs to let something go. Okay, 8th house is Scorpio energy, and this has to do with transformation, and wow, you've got the Tower. Okay, so for some of you, this can be, the Tower can be anything from a sudden realization to a blinding light of illumination to everything falling apart. So when the Tower shows up in the house of transformation, then that says to me that you've got, with something, you are raising the ground and starting over again. And I find that interesting, especially seeing the 10 of Swords here. And so this seems to have to do with either something you've been dedicated to in terms of a project or a relationship, or, again, for some people, potentially something around their children. But it does feel like there's like an ending to something, a wake-up call. And you've got Lotus with it, though, too. So Lotus is a card of anxiety, or really relaxing anxiety. So it seems to indicate that there are big changes coming, but you don't need to be anxious about them. Lotus indicates, you want to have a calm, centered approach to things. Whatever this change is, it's going to bring you to a place of truth. So it's not a bad thing, in spite of the fact that it seems a bit scary. 9th house is the house of Sagittarius and Sagittarius energy. This has to do with higher education, with long-distance travel, and your own philosophy, belief systems, things like that. And we have Isis here. So Isis is definitely, again, there's this kind of motherly energy to Isis. I want to say it can indicate a track that you're on where you've got to persevere with patience. That's one aspect of it. For some people, it could have to do with higher education or something that is connected to, I don't know, some kind of profession that involves nurturing others. So it could have to do with, being, I don't know, a doctor, a midwife, a nurse, or, something like that. There could be some kind of an energy like that. We have it with the Queen of Swords. So yeah, Queen of Swords is very strongly academic, somebody who's very, who has a very strong logical energy, seeing something very, very clearly. So I don't know. What's jumping into my mind is, for some people, this could actually be mother energy. And this could be somebody's mother who's just kind of seeing something clearly. Like, I feel like if there's a child in college or something, or in university, it may be that there's a situation where mom has to step in, but has to be very, can't just coddle, has to kind of like, cut to the chase and what the facts are of the situation, with that, and not not try to get carried away in emotion with something. I don't know why I feel like that applies to somebody here. But if you don't feel like that applies to you, then there definitely seems to be this situation that perhaps needs to be nurtured, or a situation that may require nurturing, or maybe you feel like there needs to be this I don't want to say coddling, because it's not really that it's coddling, but this kind of more maternal kind of a feeling that maybe needs to be, tempered with a dose of realism here. Okay, so 10th house is the house of Capricorn. And Capricorn this is the house of your career, fame, reputation, and your what you do for career rather than maybe just a job. And we've got Sirius here. So Sirius indicates working hard at something. It also indicates thinking outside the box. For some people, this literally could have to do with like being like a personal trainer or involved in something physical. But not necessarily, and frequently that's not what this card means. But there's definitely this sense of needing to think outside the box with something, and broadening your horizons about how you're approaching something. I kind of feel like it has to do with the 9th house thing too. Like you may be trying to do something new with your career, or something is changing, and it's kind of telling you need to sit down and look at the details. You need to look at the facts. It can't just be there's stuff that needs to be uncovered, and you need to focus on that. You have it with the 6 of Rods, or the 6 of Wands. This is a card of recognition and of being recognized for something, which is very much in tune with Leo and Leo energy. So yeah, it does feel like your hard work will pay off. Like you're going to be recognized for something. You are going to be able to achieve something. But you do want to put the work in, and you also might need to approach it differently from what you are now. I notice 1 + 5 is 6, and this card number is 6. So for some people, the number 6 is going to be important. Okay, the 11th house is the house of Aquarius. Now, wow. Aquarius, okay, so this house is a house of friendship and networks, as opposed to, say, your marriages or something like that. So this has more to do with friendships. It also has to do with your hopes and wishes. And you have the winged disc here. Now, winged disc is, in the 11th house, is the card of wishes granted. So it seems like there is some kind of a wish you can achieve, or some kind of a goal that you can finally reach. But you have it with the 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups means you need to let go of the past. You may need to let go of past sorrows, past attitudes, dwelling on maybe past situations where things didn't work out the way you thought they were going to. And you need to look at the 2 cups that are standing and turn away from these 3 that are spilled. I mean, they're spilled. What's the old expression? Don't cry over spilled milk. I mean, you need to turn and look at what's new and what's coming. 12th house is Pisces energy, and this has to do with what we hide, what we're afraid of, and so forth. Sometimes with foreign travel for some people too. And this is interesting because you have the twins and you also have the 3 of Cups. So this has to do often, I feel like when I see these 2 together, it's either a social gathering of people or it's a reconciliation with somebody. And the fact that it's showing up in the 12th house could indicate that it's something hidden right now, or maybe it's something you're actually afraid is going to happen. Maybe you don't want, maybe somebody wants to reconnect with you and you don't want to reconnect with them. But there's definitely a sense here of there may be a fear of something, some kind of connection or some kind of a social thing unconsciously. There may be a particular person or situation that you're like, ooh, you know what? I'm not sure how that's going to work out or how I'm going to feel about it. So, as always, like what I'm seeing in your relationship houses is kind of this sense of there may be some relationships that need to come to an end. And actually, for some people, if this has to do with a fidelity question, there may be a worry about this third-party situation. For some people, it could be the reverse. It could be that you're worried about a partner that might be bringing a third party in. But it's showing up, the fact that it's showing up in this way, I don't know. I don't like to break bad news about like that to some people, and I don't think it applies to everybody that way. I don't think it necessarily means that. But if you're in a situation where you are suspicious of your partner kind of cheating, then this is something that this would say to me that this is something that's occupying your mind right now, that you may be a little bit worried about. But I don't know. It could be for some people that this just means there's a relationship that needs to be broken away from and you need to make a change. So yeah, it seems like that's a very personal message coming through for somebody in this one. I'm definitely seeing something like a love relationship that maybe you need to say, maybe this isn't the best thing for me. Now, overall, you have Hathor. So Hathor is definitely a card of being organized. It's very similar to the Empress in its energy. But rather than being sort of exclusively, well, maybe not exclusively, but maybe not just about motherhood, this is just about, just as Ta has to do with the qualities of masculinity, this is the qualities of femininity. And so this may be a time when you just want to worry about, nesting, being more domestic, staying at home, being a little more passive in a situation, getting yourself organized, getting your own personal affairs in order. But you have it with the sun. So the sun always brings clarity into a situation. So I feel like the light of the sun is going to be shed on things, and you're going to be able to see very clearly where you're going with something. Like I feel like we're coming into a time period between the tower and the sun and some other things that a light is going to be shown on these parts of your life that perhaps maybe you've been uncertain about, and maybe you feel like you've been that maybe you feel uncertain, maybe you feel unclear. This definitely indicates to me that clarity is coming. That's all I have for you for this week. Thank you so much, and hope you join me next week, and have a great one.